So I met Adeye Jean-Baptist 3 years ago when they were thinking about coming to Alfred. And one of the main concerns about rural, predominantly white campuses is making sure that we have role models, making sure that we have connectable faculty. So this idea has been simmering since the very first day I met Adeye. Adeye came to me about a year ago and talked about really the need and her desire to have mentors of color in the studio, and how in the glass world she was not seeing representation of artists who look like her. She went to Chicago and involved herself with Project Fire, where she met many of these artists and started pitching this idea originally to be professionals as well as students coming to Alfred and really changing the landscape and changing the conversations that we have about being an artist and being underrepresented and marginalized. And there's powerful dialogues going on behind the scenes, as well as what the students are lucky enough to be invited to participate in.
Thank everybody in. And now can I get a bigger yell for welcome for Cedric from Los Angeles. Thanks for being here, Cedric.
With about 8 different artists had different spots all around, so it's one big kind of like opening.
So I am Dr. Brian Saltzman. I'm the Director for Student Diversity and Inclusion, the Interim Chief Diversity Officer, and the Director and Co-Director of the Africana Studies Program here at Alfred University. I think that the work of someone like Cedric brings so much, because you see not only the entrepreneurial spirit, but the actual strength of professionalism. So the idea that the Black Glass Artist Series as a tradition, and the students and those individuals who had an opportunity to see his work, to see how he brought from concept all the way to production, and then his talk, gives us just another opportunity to be inclusive, to be open, to do the work of not just merely being members of a global society, but ultimately contributing in meaningful and transformative ways.
I'm Cedric Mitchell. I'm a glass artist based out of Los Angeles, California. I'm originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and the name of my company is Cedric Mitchell Design. So my introduction was probably different from a lot of people. I mean, before I was blowing glass, I was actually doing music. So I was like a rap artist in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I went by the name of Nuff Said. So one day, actually, my boy Steve, who owned the studio that we were in recording music, was telling me about his friend in Miami who actually made glass. And he was telling me about the community college I was at, Tulsa Community College, and I told him I was already enrolled as a business major. So he was telling me that I could take glass blowing as an elective there. So like without even like knowing what glass blowing was or anything like that, I just like took a leap. I mean, it was a long journey, you know, like it was a lot of hiccups in the road, legal troubles, just getting out of an old lifestyle that I was living before I was actually blowing glass. But I was actually in the mind state of like, the humble apprentice. So like coming in the studio, sweeping the studio. So just like really just going hard at that and volunteering my time and showing up to the studio and being in there like a staple in the studio, to the point they were like, you want a job? It was like 2 weeks in the glass blowing when I first started, and I was like, oh man, let me Google famous black glass artists. So I like Google famous black glass artists, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what we got. And it like took me a minute to find them, and then the results that popped up was Thurman Statham, Deborah Moore, and Shay Rhodes. So knowing that there was only 3, it's like, all right, cool. It solidified my role, in glass. Like, all right, cool. Rapping is something anyone can do. There's a lot of rappers out there, but everybody can't blow glass, So this is like my own lane and my own opportunity to actually expand that and actually be a reference point for the next generation to come. So, I mean, and I thought I was one of the few, and then actually at the gas conference in Chicago, that's when I met Corey Pemberton, and we were actually assisting Joe Cariotti with his demo, and he like leaned over to me. He was like, this is like a rare moment right here, where you got 2 brothers on the floor, and I was like, yeah, it is, and really I didn't think it would come full circle, but years later, Corey was leaving Penland and actually looking to move to LA to start like a painting career. So we ended up working for Joe Cariotti, and we all ended up working together. So like that was like a monumental thing right there for us. And then, for him to actually have started crafting the future with Annie Evelyn, and to see it grow and have my participation in it. So that way we could actually diversify the fields of art, craft, and design. And then we can see more of what we didn't have, when we first started out. So to see like more people of color working in glass, and then, working in ceramics or metalsmithing, in woodworking, making furniture, and all kind of other crafts. When Adeye first reached out, I think it was like a year ago, and she sent like a DM, pitching the idea to me, and I just said yeah immediately. Like, yes, whatever you need, let me know what you need, and by when, because sometimes I get in the midst of like doing a lot of things, and it came full circle where we all met on Zoom, with me, Sarah Beth, Nkosi, and we all met about the B.F.A series, and I didn't really know what it included or what to expect from it, until I arrived here, and I was like, man, this is like real powerful. Like in the facilities here at Alfred, like you could do pretty much anything here. The students have been amazing. Like they made life easy, like super easy, it was, my idea coming into it was like to include everybody, like all hands on board. So like first day, I was like, all right, cool, we're gonna do some prep work, we'll make these things, I'll be on this bench working with this person, and then you be over there, and you'll make a part, and we'll make a part, and we'll join them together. And that's kind of how like the whole week has been, just stress-free, and like me not worried about or micromanaging anyone. Just like, hey, just do it, and we'll figure it out. And then everybody has skills, so like it's been good. I've never experienced that. I'm used to like doing a lot of the work, so being able to like take a pause or not have to think as much, just being able to assign jobs and then bring it all together and create some really nice work has been a joy, actually.
time?
Yeah. Go under. Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta do things to discover things. So like if you're not actively like doing things or like putting out the effort to do it, or like sometimes you get into your mind like I can't do it because of the money, you know, you have to actually know that the money is out there. There's grants for these things. You can apply for these grants, there's support. And then even like Craft in the Future, we're trying to provide that support as well for people to take, you know, those opportunities, you know. And I always mention like, you know, some of the opportunities don't seem like an opportunity when you think about them. Everything feels risky and trying new things. So just, you know, taking those leaps of faith and just knowing that you're gonna land on your feet.